My ex-wife left me for her high school sweetheart, and my daughter watched it all happen. She said, "Dad, I'm not going to Mom's anymore." I replied, "That's your choice, sweetheart." Then at the custody hearing, my 14-year-old told the judge everything, including the affair that started 8 months before the divorce. When the judge awarded me full custody and my ex had to pay me child support, I, 38 male, am sitting here at my kitchen table trying to figure out how to even start this. My marriage ended about 8 months ago. 16 years together, married for 14. My ex left me for her high school boyfriend who moved back to town. Yeah, I know. Like some bad Hallmark movie, except I'm the guy who gets dumped in the first 15 minutes. The divorce itself wasn't that bad compared to some horror stories I've heard. We did the standard custody thing. Week on, week off with our daughter who just turned 14. I kept the house since I'd bought it before we got married and kept paying the mortgage. She got her car, her stuff, and we split our savings. I actually gave her a bigger chunk just to get it done faster. Lost probably 15 grand doing that, but honestly, worth it to be finished. My daughter took it really hard. She's always been one of those kids who notices everything, picks up on stuff adults think they're hiding. When her mom sat her down to explain the divorce, she didn't cry or freak out, just went completely silent. That worried me more than if she'd screamed. So the custody exchanges start happening. Pretty normal divorced parent routine. Her mom picks her up Friday after school, brings her back the next Friday. Awkward but manageable. Then one Friday, it's supposed to be her mom's week, my daughter walks in the front door way earlier than expected. Her mom's car is sitting in the driveway, engine running. "Hey, sweetie, everything okay? Thought you were with Mom this week." She drops her backpack on the floor and just looks at me with these exhausted eyes. "Dad, I'm not going to Mom's anymore." My heart just sank. "What do you mean? Did something happen?" "Nothing happened. I just don't want to be there. Can I please stay here?" Before I could respond, her mom came to the door. We stepped outside to talk while my daughter stayed inside. The ex was trying to play it casual, saying our daughter was being dramatic and testing boundaries. That she'd get over it. I looked through the window at my kid sitting on the couch. She didn't look dramatic. She looked tired. Told my ex I wasn't going to physically force our daughter into a car, that we'd need to figure this out legally. She lost it. Started yelling about how I was undermining her and turning our daughter against her. Didn't take the bait. Just said we'd let the lawyers handle it. She drove off pissed. My daughter stayed. That was a few months ago now. What I didn't know at the time, what I'm only learning now, is what my daughter had actually been seeing at her mom's place. And before that, Update 1. So we got a temporary custody hearing, scheduled pretty quick. My lawyer said when a teenager flat out refuses to go to one parent's house, courts take it seriously. In the weeks leading up to the hearing, my daughter started opening up. Not all at once, just little pieces here and there. We'd be making dinner or driving somewhere, and she'd drop something heavy into the conversation. One day we're sitting in the school parking lot, and she just says, "Dad, did you know Mom was seeing him before you guys split up?" I'm gripping the steering wheel trying to keep my face neutral. "What do you mean?" "Her boyfriend. I saw them together last year, before you moved out." "When was this?" "Different times. He'd come by the house when you were at work. They'd hang out in the backyard. One time I came home early from practice and they were in the living room. Mom said he was just an old friend catching up, but I could tell it wasn't just friends." "Did you see anything inappropriate?" She looked uncomfortable. They were always really touchy, sitting close, laughing at everything. Once I saw them kiss through the window, just quick, but yeah. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to make things worse. You guys were already fighting all the time. I thought maybe I was reading into it wrong. And Mom kept saying things like, 'This stays between us, and Dad doesn't need to know everything.'" We sat there for a minute. Then she said, "I'm going to tell the judge. If they ask me, I'm telling them everything I saw." "You don't have to, Dad." She looked right at me. "I want to. Mom made me lie. She'd tell me, what happens here stays here, and your dad doesn't need to know our business. But it's not fair. You didn't do anything wrong, and she made it seem like you were the problem." My lawyer had already warned me that judges sometimes interview older kids in chambers, especially when there's a custody dispute. Said my daughter would probably be asked what she wants and why. I told her she needed to tell the truth, but that I'd support whatever she decided to do, that it was her choice. She nodded. I'm telling them. All of it. After that conversation, my ex started going into overdrive. Phone calls, texts, emails, all variations of the same thing. I was manipulating our daughter, poisoning her, being vindictive, using her as a weapon. I forwarded everything to my lawyer, didn't respond to any of it. Then her boyfriend decided to get involved. This dude I'd never even met sent me this long message on social media about how I needed to be a man and let go and stop using a child as a pawn. Said he was going to be a positive male role model in my daughter's life whether I liked it or not. Screenshot. Sent to lawyer. Blocked him. My lawyer actually loved that message. Said it showed boundary issues and instability on their end. The night before the hearing, my ex showed up at my house unannounced, started pounding on the door. I opened it but stayed in the doorway. What's going on? I need to see her. Now. She's doing homework. What do you need? I need to talk to my daughter. Alone. That's not happening. She's my daughter, and she's told both of us she doesn't want to be at your place right now. The hearing is tomorrow. Let the judge sort it out. You brainwashed her. You've been talking about me, turning her against me. My daughter appeared behind me. Mom, no one brainwashed me. I just don't want to be around you right now. Her mom's face crumpled. Baby, please, I'm your mother. I love you. You cheated on Dad. For months, you made me keep it secret. That's messed up. It's complicated. Adults make mistakes. When you're older, I'm old enough to understand that you lied and you made me lie too. I don't want to be part of that anymore. Her mom tried to push past me into the house. I blocked her. You need to leave. I'm not leaving without my daughter. Yeah, you are. You can see her at the hearing tomorrow. Leave now or I'm calling the police. She stood there shaking, then pointed at me. You're going to pay for this. Both of you will regret this. She stormed off, tires squealing as she left. My daughter was crying quietly. I hugged her and told her she was brave, that I was proud of her, that it would be okay. Really hoped I wasn't lying. Update 2. The hearing was brutal. The judge was this woman, in her 50s, no-nonsense type. She started with the lawyers, laying out how things would go. Then she said she wanted to talk to my daughter privately, just her, the judge, and a court counselor. They were in there for almost an hour. I sat in the hallway trying not to lose it while my ex and her lawyer sat on the opposite side, both of them avoiding eye contact. When they came out, my daughter looked drained but steady. The judge's face gave nothing away. Back in the courtroom, the judge started with questions for me. Basic stuff. Work schedule, living situation, relationship with my daughter. I'm an IT manager, decent flexibility, work from home a couple days a week. Been at the same company 12 years. House is fully paid off, stable income, no red flags. Then she turned to my ex, asked about her living situation. She'd moved in with her boyfriend a couple months after the divorce. 3-bedroom house, she said. Plenty of room for our daughter. Judge asked, how long have you been in this relationship? My ex hesitated. About 1.5 years. And when did you separate from your husband? 8 months ago. So this relationship began while you were still married? We were having problems already. The marriage was basically over. That wasn't the question. The room got cold real fast. Then the judge brought up her conversation with my daughter. Said she'd been very articulate about her preferences, that she'd provided specific and detailed information about events she'd witnessed. This is where it got heavy. The child reported witnessing physical affection between her mother and the mother's current partner prior to the marital separation. She stated that she was explicitly instructed not to share this information with her father and was made to feel responsible for keeping this secret. My ex went pale. Judge kept going. She also reported that during custody exchanges at her mother's residence, she feels like an outsider because the mother's partner is always around, and she feels her mother is more interested in him than in spending time with her. She specifically mentioned an incident where she wanted to return to her father's home early, and the mother's partner called her selfish and told her she needed to get over it. Is this accurate? My ex looked at her lawyer. He gave her this look like, don't even think about lying right now. He might have said something like that. He was trying to help her adjust. By calling a 14-year-old selfish? Silence. Judge leaned back in her chair. I'll be direct with both of you. This court's primary concern is the child's well-being, not the parents' feelings, not who was right or wrong in the marriage. The child's well-being comes first. She looked straight at my ex. Your daughter is 14, old enough for her preferences to carry significant weight. She has clearly and consistently expressed discomfort in your home. She's provided specific reasons for this discomfort, and the timeline she described regarding your relationship is concerning, particularly her role in concealing it. My lawyer was barely containing a smile. Judge turned to me. That said, it's important for children to maintain relationships with both parents when appropriate and safe. Then she dropped the ruling. I'm awarding primary physical custody to the father. Mother will have supervised visitation every other weekend, progressing to unsupervised visitation after a 3-month evaluation period if visits are successful and the child is comfortable. Mother will also pay child support according to state guidelines. My ex shot up. Your Honor, this isn't fair. I'm her mother. Sit down, ma'am. He's been poisoning her against me, coaching her. This is manipulation. Ma'am, sit down. The judge waited until she sat. I personally interviewed your daughter at length. She was not coached. She was not coerced. Her statements were detailed, consistent, and credible. Your daughter is hurt by your choices and uncomfortable in your environment. If you want to repair that relationship, that's your responsibility. Not this court's, not your ex-husband's, yours. She looked back at me. Father, I expect you to encourage your daughter's relationship with her mother. No disparaging remarks. No interference with scheduled visits unless there's a legitimate safety concern. Clear? Yes, Your Honor. I've never said anything negative about her mother, and I won't. Good. She signed the papers. Child support is set at $420 per month based on income differential and custody arrangement. We're done here. My ex was crying. Her lawyer was packing up fast, probably trying to get her out before she made things worse. As we walked out, her boyfriend was in the hallway, saw us and started walking over. Hey, this is complete. My lawyer stepped between us immediately. Do not finish that sentence. Do not approach my client or his minor child. You are not a party to this proceeding. He backed up but yelled after us. This isn't over. My lawyer didn't even turn around. Actually, it is. Completely. In the car, my daughter was quiet for a while. Then, I feel bad. About what? Mom was crying. I made her cry. I pulled over. Hey, look at me. You told the truth. That's all you did. Your mom is upset because she has to face what she did. That's not on you. You didn't do anything wrong. She nodded, but I could tell she wasn't sure. Do you want to do the visits? I don't know. Maybe eventually. Just not with him there. I'll make sure that's clear. Okay? Okay. We grabbed pizza on the way home. Tried to act normal. But I knew she was processing everything that had just happened. So was I. Update 3. It's been about a month since the hearing. Things have settled into a new routine. The first supervised visit happened a couple weeks ago. My ex showed up without her boyfriend. Small miracle there. My daughter went in looking anxious, came out 2 hours later looking exhausted, but okay. How'd it go? I asked when we got in the car. Weird. Awkward. She cried a lot, kept apologizing and saying she loves me. Do you believe her, maybe? I think she's more sorry about getting caught than about what she actually did. Perceptive kid. She kept asking me to talk to you about changing the custody, said it wasn't fair that you were keeping us apart. What'd you say? That it wasn't your decision, it was the judge's decision. And mine. Good answer. The child support started coming through. $420 a month. I set up a separate savings account in my daughter's name, and I'm putting it all in there. She'll need it for college someday. Her mom has to pay it legally, but I'm not touching that money for regular expenses. It's for her future. My ex has been texting constantly. Daily check-ins about how our daughter is doing and whether she's eating properly and if her grades are okay. All stuff she could verify during visits, but instead she's trying to maintain control from a distance. I keep responses short. She's fine. Yes. All good. Her boyfriend tried adding me on social media again. Blocked immediately. Then he made a fake profile and sent a message about how I was destroying a family and needed to let them be happy. Forwarded to my lawyer. She sent a cease and desist. Haven't heard from him since. The best part? My daughter is doing so much better. Grades are up. She's smiling more, having friends over. She joined the debate team, started seeing a therapist weekly to work through everything, and the therapist says she's handling it really well. Last night we were cleaning up after dinner and she just stopped and said, "Thanks, Dad." For what? For believing me. For not making me go back when I said I didn't want to. That's just basic parenting. You don't have to thank me for that. Mom told me you'd force me, that the court would force me. She said I didn't have a choice. You always have a choice about stuff like this. Maybe not everything in life, but this? Yeah, you had a choice. She actually smiled. First real smile I'd seen in weeks. My ex's parents called once early on asking what really happened. Gave them the basics. Their daughter had an affair, our daughter found out, now our daughter doesn't want to be around her. They went quiet after that. Haven't heard from them since. Either they're embarrassed, or she fed them some version where I'm the villain. Don't really care which. My side of the family has been incredible. My mom watches my daughter when I have late meetings. My sister takes her shopping for stuff I have no clue about. My brother taught her how to change a tire because everyone should know this, not just guys. Funny how situations like this show you who your real support system is. Got the official custody order in the mail the other day. All legal and binding. Primary physical custody to me. Child support obligation for her. Supervised visits for 3 months, then we'll reassess. I'm not celebrating or rubbing it in anyone's face. I'm just relieved. My kid is safe, she's happy, she's where she wants to be. That's all that matters. People keep asking if I'm angry at my ex. Honestly, not anymore. Angry at what she did, sure. Angry at how she handled it, absolutely. But angry at her as a person? Takes too much energy. She made her choices, chose her high school boyfriend over her family, chose to lie and cheat, chose to involve our daughter in that lie. Now she gets to live with the consequences. My daughter's therapist said something that stuck with me. She said, "Your daughter will decide what relationship she wants with her mother as she gets older. Your job isn't to push that or prevent it. Your job is to keep her safe and let her feel what she feels." That's what I'm trying to do. My ex texted earlier asking if our daughter would call her. I asked my daughter, she said, maybe later, and went back to her homework. Texted back, she'll call when she's ready. Response, you're turning her against me. Didn't reply. Some arguments aren't worth having. Someone DM'd asking if I'm dating. Hell no. Not even thinking about that. My focus is making sure my daughter is okay. Everything else can wait. Another person asked if I feel guilty about how things turned out. No, I did what any parent should. Listened to their kid and kept them safe. If she'd wanted to live primarily with her mom, I would have supported that too. This was never about winning or losing against my ex. It was about doing right by our daughter. The supervised visits continue for 2 more months. After that, we'll see. Maybe my daughter will want more time with her mom. Maybe she won't. Either way, it's her call. I'll support whatever she decides as long as she's safe. My ex can rebuild things with our daughter if she actually puts in the effort, shows up consistently, apologizes sincerely, respects boundaries, proves she can put her kid first instead of her boyfriend. But that's on her. Not on me to force. One last thing, if you're going through something similar, document everything. Every text, every call, every incident. Keep records. Stay calm. Don't talk trash about your ex to your kids, no matter how tempting. Let the truth speak for itself. And listen to your kids. Really listen. They see way more than we think. Sometimes they need us to hear them, even when it's uncomfortable. My daughter is upstairs right now doing homework. I can hear her music playing. She's singing along quietly. That's how I know everything turned out the way it should have.